Your past has no power where grace reigns. They remember what you did. They remind you of who you were. They whisper your sins like a funeral dirge. Religion keeps the record. Culture stamps the label. Satan frames the guilt and hangs it on the wall of your mind. But there's a courtroom where none of that matters. There's a throne where your shame is silent. There's a king whose grace doesn't consult your past to decide your future. Because your past has no power where grace reigns. Not a little grace, not cheap grace, not religious grace, real grace. The kind that raises the dead, the kind that silences accusers, the kind that rewrites your identity in blood. Romans 5:21 declares it without apology. Where sin abounded, grace did much more abound. Not matched it, surpassed it, drowned it, buried it. You think your record is too ugly? God sees the blood. You think your story is too broken? Grace rewrites it. You think your label is permanent? He already tore it off on the cross. The world wants to define you by your worst moment, but grace defines you by Christ's best. Skeptics scoff at grace. They say it's too easy. Imams deny grace. They say it's too risky. Priests complicate grace. They say it's not enough. Pastors distort grace. They sell it like a product. But grace isn't sold. It's not earned. It's not borrowed. It's not conditional. It's a throne. And the one who sits on it rules with mercy. When the woman caught in adultery was dragged before Jesus, her guilt was obvious. Her sin was public. Her sentence was death. The law said stone her. The priests demanded judgment. The crowd wanted blood. But grace stooped down and wrote in the dirt. And when he stood up, every accuser walked away. Not because she wasn't guilty, but because grace outranked the law. That's what skeptics don't understand. Grace doesn't deny the past. It declares it powerless. Grace doesn't ignore the sin. It breaks its grip. You can't out-sin the cross. You can't outrun the blood. You can't outfail the mercy of a resurrected king. So why are you still imprisoned by memories Jesus already buried? Why are you letting dead things dictate your living future? Why are you kneeling before shame when grace is calling you to stand? You say, but I failed. He says, I forgave. You say, but I'm stained. He says, you're washed. You say, but I'm not worthy. He says, I made you worthy. That's the scandal of grace. It offends the proud. It enrages the religious. It confuses the legalist. But it saves the sinner. Where grace reigns, condemnation is illegal. Where grace reigns, your past is disarmed. Where grace reigns, your future is secure. You can't earn it. You can't fake it. You can only receive it. And once you do, your past becomes your testimony, not your identity. Let the world talk. Let religion judge. Let skeptics laugh. Because where grace reigns, the only thing your past proves is that God's mercy is stronger than your mess. So tear off the label, throw down the guilt, walk out of the grave. Your past has no power here, because grace is on the throne and Jesus is reigning.